dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Good morning here from your host Ram, and welcome everybody to the show Cricket Happenings. Well, first I'm going to talk about some cricket breaking news that is coming. Iran Pollard, Shimron Hetmyer, and the talented Nicholas Puran are among the 10 West Indies players who have pulled out of the Bangladesh tour. As you know, West Indies were due to, and that means West Indies are going with the really reserve team to Bangladesh. And also the other players who joined the 10, the party of 10 is Roston Chase, Darren Bravo, Shamar Brooks, Sheldon Cottrell, Lewis, and Shai Hope. Evan Lewis and Shai Hope also declined due to COVID concerns. So that is the situation. That's a breaking news coming in from the news from the cricket world here. I get on to the Boxing Day Test matches where it is definitely results are coming in all the matches. 2 matches have already yielded a result, with India actually hitting back at the Aussies after the first Test debacle by 11, with the third Test match, which was still left speculation, finally has been decided by the cricket authorities, the Australian cricket authorities, that this match will be played at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the SCG. So India winning the match there by 8 wickets. And then also the other match, South Africa and Sri Lanka, unfortunately, contrary to expectations, one could say, that the match finished off pretty quickly. And that's the precise reason I'm out here to talk to you, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. The South Africans have won the first Test match against Sri Lanka. They have beaten the Sri Lankans by an innings and 45 runs, and one really a lot of injury problems, but nevertheless it's all over. So two Boxing Day Test matches have already been decided. The other Test match, which is definitely holding a lot of interest here after Kane Williamson yesterday on the 4th day, declaring the innings close at 180 for 5, setting the Pakistanis a target of 373, where Pakistan wiped off 71 runs out of that with 3 wickets in hand. So the final day is going to be a real cruncher, where I'm sure we are going to have either result coming on this Boxing Day Test match, as the Pakistanis still need 302 runs to win the match. They have 7 wickets intact, so it is definitely it's a game on there at the at the Bay Oval in Mount Ganaway between Pakistan and New Zealand. One can't wait to watch that particular match as and when it starts. So that is as far as that matches are concerned. But before I actually get into those Boxing Day 2 Test victories and the other match between Pakistan and New Zealand, I would like to talk about something sad in cricket. And his name is John Reid. He's a former New Zealand cricket player. He was an opener, John Reid. He has died at the age of 64, and our condolences on this cricket show to John Reid, John Reid's family members. He's a left-handed batsman. He's a tall guy, and he scored 1,296 Test runs, his average being 46.28. If you look at his career, he was there in the 1970-80 era, one could say. He played 19 Test matches, and he played 25 one-day internationals. If you look at his record really looks good. He only played 19 Test matches, but look at his average. It's 46.28. He had 6 centuries in 19 Test matches and 2 half centuries. And the best part of Reid's game was his century that he scored, 108 against Australia, where New Zealand actually won the match at the Gabba in Brisbane in 1985. One would remember the other late cricket player, Martin Crowe. He had a partnership of 224 for the 3rd wicket, which was a record at that point of time. Unfortunately, John Reid has left us, and as I said, it's just a sad passing away of a nice cricketer like John Reid of New Zealand. Well, so right now, I'm going to get on to the Boxing Day Test matches. First, I'm going to start off with the Australia versus India match. As I said, it was just a mere formality. One knew that the writing was on the wall that the Indians were going to win this match. And what a way to hit back at the Aussies after that very, very humiliating loss at the hands of the Aussies in the first Test match. And definitely a big credit to the Indian players. But before that, let us look at the match here. So the Aussies resuming the innings yesterday in the second innings at 133 for 6, 2 runs ahead. But definitely it was not easy for India. India had to really, really wait for it. They had to, until such time, they got the new ball, the second new cherry. They could not get any breakthroughs. And finally, the breakthrough came because their sole hope was Cameron Green. But the first wicket to go in the morning was Pat Cummins. Bumrah delivering a brute of a delivery, which Pat Cummins was absolutely taken aback as the ball really rose awkwardly and almost at the throat of Pat Cummins, and the ball ballooned in the air, Agarwal taking the catch. So that was the first wicket to go yesterday. After that, we saw Cameron Green was the mainstay there. They were basically, as I said, they were keeping the Indians at bay, and they were frustrating the Indians at that point of time. But Cameron Green, as I said, the second new ball was the one which did the trick there. I was a bit wondering there because I always had a feeling that Mohammad Siraj could have been brought on earlier because he had a good record against Green. We knew the way he actually troubled Cameron Green the other day. I would have definitely loved to see. I was a bit surprised at the. One knows that Ajinkya Rahane is definitely being lauded for his captaincy, no doubt about that. He captained the team admirably, no doubt about it. And congratulations to him as well, as he played a very stellar knock as well. But Cameron Green is someone who Siraj has troubled. I probably would have gone with the dew factor in the morning, a bit of cloudiness in the air. I would have definitely gone with two instead of starting with Ashwin. Or probably the game plan was different from, probably Ajinkya Rahane might have thought a different manner, probably saying that since it's the old ball, let us continue with Bumrah and Ashwin and then come back to Mohammad Siraj when the new ball is taken. Yes, definitely Mohammad Siraj did. But in fact, Mohammad Siraj struck with the new ball as Cameron Green, who was looking very good. I mean, he was offering he had a sort of a real watertight defense against the pace bowlers and the spinners, especially Ravichandran Ashwin. But finally, Mohammad Siraj managed to have him. He bowled a short delivery in the corridor, and Cameron Green was up for it. He played the shot. He's a tall guy, and probably one would have thought the ball would have gone over the mid-wicket region. Normally, that is a shot that Cameron Green normally plays well, has definitely fetched him a lot of runs, I am told, as the cricket commentators Michael Hussey was mentioning in the com box. And it was Jadeja, definitely not a tall guy, but he put his hands up and he picked up the catch. So he was gone. So that made the score 177 for 8. And after that, it was a quick thing. Mitchell Starc definitely was there, but then Mohammad Siraj got his third wicket. In fact, as Nathan Lyon shaping to hit in fact, trying to swing down the leg side. It was a short ball, and he was trying to pull the delivery, but he probably got an underedge there, and the ball hitting the glove of Nathan Lyon went to punt, and Mohammad Siraj had picked up his third wicket. What a debut for Mohammad Siraj! A splendid debut, one could call it. And Nathan Lyon was gone for 3. The score at 185 for 9, and then Josh Hazelwood basically shouldering arms. I mean, Ravichandran Ashwin is such a different bowler, about 6 different deliveries. And we have seen how the cricket commentators have been praising him, and definitely one has seen a sort of a different dimension of Ravichandran Ashwin. One knows that overseas probably one were really questioning whether Ravichandran Ashwin would be effective. I think Ravichandran Ashwin will be effective on any pitches, and especially considering that he has added a lot of weapons to his armory right now of bowling 6 different deliveries that really could be definitely visible, as Josh Hazelwood was not offering any stroke to a ball of Ashwin, and it went and hit his stumps, and Josh Hazelwood was gone, bowled by Ashwin for 10, and that finally left Mitchell Starc not out on 14. I thought Mitchell Starc did a good job of defending very well, not really trying to go and hit against the spin or something, which I was expecting. But finally, it was all over. The Aussies were bowled out for 200. with the Indians being given a target of 70 runs to actually go and win the second test match. The bowling, Jasprit Bumrah, 27 overs, 6 minutes, 54 runs and 2 wickets. But the debutant Mohammad Siraj really stood out. 21.3 overs, 4 maidens, 37 runs and 3 wickets in his bag on his debut and 2 wickets in the first innings. And what a bowler, Mohammad Siraj. Mohammad Siraj definitely not only making up for Mohammad Shami, but also making up for Umesh Yadav, who was not there. And I thought Umesh Yadav would have been there. Things would have been much different because Umesh Yadav is such a aggressive bowler. He bowls a lot of short stuff as well, and probably the tailenders with the Aussie tailenders there. I thought Umesh Yadav would have been quite a handful. But nevertheless, Mohammad Siraj has definitely proved himself as, everybody have really come in for high praise for the debutants, Mohammad Siraj and Shubman Gill as well. Ravichandran Ashwin, 2 for 71, did a wonderful job, I thought. 37.1 overs, 6 maidens, 71 runs and 2 wickets. Ravindra Jadeja, 14 overs, 5 minutes, 228, did his job pretty well. As far as the Indian second innings was concerned, it was a mere formality, but definitely there was still a bit of interest left in that as to see whether the Australians could conjure up something. They definitely, Mitchell Starc actually getting Mayank Agarwal, slanting the ball outside the off stump and taking it away. And it was Mayank Agarwal getting absolutely, caught on to that. And he went and edged the delivery. And it was Tim Payne behind the sticks doing the rest. And he was a goner. After that, but Shubman Gill was looking serene. I mean, look, as I've already said, his match temperament is such that he's such a composed guy. And the way he was flowing with his strokes. The first lead was a beautiful cover drive. And then we saw some nice on drives from Gill. He's one player who has already been lauded as well by the Aussies and also by Indian coach Ravi Shastri. And Shubman Gill was there in the end to take India to victory. But before that, there was a bit of a sort of a fright for India. As Cheteshwar Pujara, normally, he's the rock of the Indian team, but somewhat there was some hint of away movement from him as Pujara was forced to poke at the delivery, but it was not done in a sort of a real intent, one could say, half intent, one could say, and that was it for Pujara as he was caught by Cameron Green at gully, and that was a big wicket for the Aussies. They were 19 for 2, but the captain Ajinkya Rahane walked in to join a very, very impressive Shubman Gill on his test debut, and Ajinkya Rahane did not waste any time. As soon as he came, he was absolutely positive right from the start. He was not going to hang around there, and he was really showing that positive intent, and that's what precisely happened. And Ajinkya Rahane also played a majestic cover drive, which was, according to me, the shot of the day as far as the fourth day was concerned. And Ajinkya Rahane finally was not out on 27 with 3 boundaries when the Indian victory came. Shubman Gill, impressive, a very, very wonderful debut, and looks like a definitely going to play for a number of years for India. Shubman Gill not out 35 with 7 boundaries in that knock, and that was it. Indians had hit back at the Aussies in the second test, and they have leveled the test series 1-1. The bowling start 1 for 20 and 1 for 22 for Pat Cummins. Nathan Lyon bowled 2.5 overs, and Labuschagne 1 for 9 runs. And the man of the match going none other to the Indian captain, Ajinkya Rahane. And definitely, India deserves a lot of credit for it. Basically, there was no Virat Kohli in the team. There was no Mohammad Shami. Umesh Yadav was not there. And I think any credit, the amount of credit you give to India, I think it is going to be less because it is truly a most creditable victory by the Indians. And congratulations, India. And congratulations, India, and to the captain, Ajinkya Rahane, and his members. And we look forward to the third test, which is coming up at the Sydney Test Ground. It's a 4-test series, and we are looking forward to a real wonderful battle ensuing between both the teams as we meet at the SCG. So the next match which I'm going to talk about is going to be the match between South Africa and Sri Lanka, which is going to be a sort of a quick wrap-up. As I said yesterday, the Sri Lankans were 65 for 2, and the lead was 225. So they still had a long way to go, but it resulted with the Sri Lankans not able to offer much resistance, and could understand that with a lot of injuries in the Sri Lankan team. It was only to be expected as the South Africans won by an innings and 45 runs at the first test in Centurion by taking a 1-0 lead in the two-test series. If you look at the card there today, it was. If you look at the card there, let's have a look at the Sri Lankan card today. Karnaratne was out the previous day. As you know, Kushal Pereira's contribution was 64 with 10 boundaries. In fact, Kushal Pereira and Hasranga de Silva were the ones who got 50s. And let us talk about Wanindu Hasranga getting his maiden Test 50 on his debut. Definitely, hats off to him. He has definitely shown that he's a player for the future, and he's going to be one hell of an all-rounder, according to me, for Sri Lanka. Wanindu Hasaranga, 59 of 53 deliveries. He crashed 12 boundaries in a knock of 59 and 1-6. Magnificent knock from Wanindu Hasaranga. 12 fours and 1-6. That makes it 54. Fantastic knock from Wanindu Hasaranga. As I said, he's a player for the future for Sri Lanka. Kushal Pereira, 64 of 87, 10 fours in that. Other than that, Mulder was amongst the wickets. He picked up Dinesh Chandimal, clean bowling in for 25. Niroshan Dikwala was out for 10, caught behind for the bowling of Mulder. Shanaka was out to the bowling of Sipamla for a 6. Vishwa Fernando ran out not. As I said, it was all about injuries, and the batsmen had to come and bat even though they had injuries. And Naranja de Silva, absent, retired, hurt. It was all over. The Sri Lankans were bundled out from 180, and South Africa winning by an innings and 45 runs. If you look at the bowling card there, Lungi Gidi, 2 for 38, but Luki Sipamla, 4 wickets in the first day. Second day, 2 for 24, magnificent. Nodje, the spoils were totally shared by the South African pacers, seamers and swingers, one could say, with Lungi Gidi, 2 wickets, Andred Nodje, 2. Wayan Mulder, he looked very impressive on his debut, 2 for 39, and Lutho Sipamla, 2 for 24. Sorry, I said Mulder debut. Mulder was not on his debut. I'm sorry about that. So Mulder also doing a good job, and Faf du Plessis was named man of the match. So definitely, this should make ICC really think about getting concussion subs for even bowlers and fielders now, according to me, as far as bowlers were concerned. And as far as the Pakistan versus New Zealand was concerned on the 4th day, that was the only one which is hanging right now. And the 4th day happens to be promised a lot, no doubt about it, with the New Zealand skipper doing a realistic declaration. As at 180 for 5, he declared the innings closed. If you look at the card there, they had a very good opening partnership. The partnership yielded 111 runs to the good. Tom Latham's contribution being 53 with 3 boundaries. Tom Blundell got his maiden 50. He has been struggling with the bat, as you know, but finally he got it there. He made 64 with 7 boundaries. Looked very, very good in his stroke making as well. Kane Williamson, everybody came there with a purpose. I'm sure Kane Williamson, the New Zealand captain, had given them clear instructions that you have to go for the runs. And that's what precisely happened. Williamson contributing 21 with 2 boundaries, not out on 12. Nichols out for 11. BJ Watling was run out for 5. Santana was 180 for 5, declared a realistic declaration, one thought, especially considering that he got the Pakistanis to play just before tea on the 4th day and gave them a target of 373, which is a very, very realistic target in these days. As 373 is something which is quite possible in one full day and after tea on the 4th day. If you look at the bowling, Naseem Shah was amongst the wickets, which was good to see. 12.3 overs, 1 maiden, 55 runs and 3 wickets for Naseem Shah, 1 for 33 Mohammad Bass. And let's look at the Pakistan card. So Pakistan were given a target of 373 runs to win the match, and they started off in a bizarre manner. So there were 2 batsmen. The openers were sent back to the pavilion with blobs on the account. There was 0 for 2 at one stage. The first to go was Abid Ali. What a delivery. Absolutely a lightning delivery from Trent Bolt, one could call it, as he went on the front foot and the ball rose awkwardly, hit the glove and went towards the slips, and it was all over. Abid Ali was walking, caught Watling, bowled for naught. That was the first wicket. Shan Masood was out hanging his bat to a ball. It was Tim Sadi was bowling very well. He had got the ball to jag away from Shan Masood, but this one with a scramble seam. The ball just moved. I mean, did not really move. The ball did not move. The ball held its line, and it was all over for Shan Masood. He was totally undone by Saudi. Cocktail ball, Saudi for not. And the Pakistanis lost 2 wickets, both their openers, with nothing on the board. And there were 2 new batsmen at the crease, Azhar Ali and Haris Sohail. And then finally, some sanity to the proceedings as 37 runs were added between these two. And then when the score reached 37, the Pakistanis lost their 3rd wicket, which was also a milestone for Tim Southee as he picked up his 300th Test wicket. As this was a ball, which he did, but in the process, he actually could not keep the ball all along the carpet. He spooned the ball into the short extra cover region. It was kept specifically for that purpose, and it was the catch. Sohail was gone from 9, and finally it was left with the comeback man Fawad Alam. As I already have told, that I have not seen any comeback man in the Pakistani team like Fawad Alam, who has been out in the wilderness and he comes again and again to the team and then disappears and then comes back. But definitely he has done a good job. So one could say 2 experienced campaigners in the middle, especially the most experienced campaigner according to me is Azhar Ali. He was not out on 34 with 3 boundaries. He's someone we know what a door character he is. He can stay at the crease for pretty long time, and definitely that would be, I believe that looking at the scheme of things on the final day, where 302 runs are separating the Pakistanis from getting a victory in this Boxing Day Test match, I think it will be very essential that Azhar Ali stays the whole hog, because he should be the anchor man, according to me, on the final day for the Pakistanis. Fawad Alam was not out on 21 with 4 boundaries, but Azhar Ali would be the key. And then they still have Mohammad Rizwan, the captain, who can be totally, one can rely upon the captain. Fahim Ashraf is just coming back on a wonderful knock of 91. So definitely the batting is still there. Pakistan still have a chance, but it is going to be a nice battle, which is coming up. A very, very interesting day ahead as far as the final day is concerned in this Boxing Day Test match. And I'm sure we are going to have this one also decided. So that means all the 3 Boxing Day Test matches would have ended in a result. Now, looking at the bowling, Tim Southee getting his 300th Test wicket, 9 overs, 5 minutes, 15 runs, and 2 wickets to Tim Southee, 1 for 24 for 10 bowled. Jamieson did his job. Jamieson, none for 3. Neil Wagner, none for 4. Mitchell Santner, none for 19. Well, dear fans and subscribers, it has been a pleasure describing this cricket escapades of the Boxing Day Test matches. As I said, let's wait and watch today's final day's proceedings at the Bay Oval, Mount Ganway, where the Pakistan required another 362 runs to win this Test match. As I said, right now, I would call it even Stevens. The key, according to me, is going to be Azhar Ali, because Azhar Ali, as I said, is the anchor of the Pakistan team. And if he could actually really anchor this Pakistan team and the other batsmen could rally around him, they could still make a good fist out of it. So let's hope and wish that we have a very, very interesting day coming ahead in the final day at Bay Oval, Mount Managaunee. Well, dear fans and subscribers, a pleasure coming onto the Cricket Happening show, and was definitely just because the match ended very quickly, I was in a position to come a bit early today, but definitely the pleasure is mine, and look forward to your company once again tomorrow when I'll be narrating the 5th day's play between Pakistan and New Zealand. And one hopes, not only hopes, one definitely knows that there's a result coming unless the very, very cruel weather actually intervenes. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the day here on Tuesday. This is your host Ram signing off. Thank you.